Hi folks, this is Garlic with the Living Medicine Project, and I wanted to make this little video for you because I had an insight this weekend. So a little bit of backstory just to fill you in. I'm just coming off a 14-day fast, and as the culmination of that on the full moon, I did a sacred fire. And so I spent many hours staring into the fire. And I did lots of things, but to keep it relevant to what I'm wanting to share here, I had a moment of insight, a little epiphany. And so, a lot of people talk about connection as part of the healing that's needed in the world. And if you followed my work at all for the last few years, then you'll know that it's really important to the work that I do. And I've primarily focused on connection with the plant world as a way to heal, taking them as medicine, connecting with them as beings and learning from them. And I wanted to offer a different perspective today. We're coming into the dark time of the year. It's noticeably longer nights and shorter days right now. We've got just about a month until winter solstice, when that starts to turn around, but we really won't notice that change until February. So we've got a couple of months of darkness left. And so I hope that this helps. One of my most popular tincture remedies that I sell at this time of year is called Bring Back the Sunshine. And especially here in the Pacific Northwest, people are really craving the sun as soon as that permanent cloud cover sets in. And it's here for months and months. And in that blend are 3 herbs that I consider to be the most connected and most imbued with the energy of the sun. Of course, there's some traditional uses and there's some medical reasons for it. In terms of tracking the chemistry of those plants. But really, when I put that thing together, it was about trying to get drops of sunlight into people to help recharge them in the dark time of the year. And so what I want to share with you is an invitation or a reminder, I'm not sure where you're at with it, to connect with actually the sunlight. And so here's what occurred to me while I was staring into the fire. First thing that occurred to me was that the fire, as I was watching the flames dance in front of me and watching the embers, do their slow moving sort of wavy dance. Just as a side note, when you watch embers in a fire, you see the connection between fire and water, because there are waves that just wash through that, and it's really entrancing and very magical. But in both cases, that light that is released, that flame that is dancing around, is actually a form of sunlight. Because what happens is the trees, as we all know, they breathe in carbon dioxide and they eat sunlight. And so what happens is when they breathe in that carbon dioxide, they actually break the carbon and the oxygen, which is part of the reason they release oxygen for mammals to breathe. But then they bind sunlight to that carbon. We tend to call those carbohydrates. And it becomes part of their form. And when we light a fire, it releases that sunlight. But you might not have access to a fire. You might not be able to light a fire every time you want to. If you're in the city, it's harder. You might not have a fireplace, a wood-burning stove. Even if you do, wood is expensive in the city. It can be hard to find free wood. But I wanted to point out that the second realization that I had is that actually that same process is happening inside each of us every day. And how that's happening is through digestion. So when we eat plants, whether they're fruits or vegetables or roots or any part of the plant, when our body digests that, it's actually breaking open those carbohydrates. it's releasing that sun energy, and then it's binding oxygen to it so that we breathe out carbon dioxide. So all you really need to do is notice that warmth inside you. You know, maybe place your hands on your belly. I've been doing this a lot lately. Just like feel the warmth that your body is creating. And the vast majority of that is from digestion, and the vast majority of that is actually sunlight. Right? I'll give you some time to ponder it. And just chew on that maybe for the rest of the day. And notice how you feel as you connect with yourself, feeling that sunlight inside you, even when it's dark out, even when you might feel a bit oppressed, maybe especially when you might feel a bit oppressed by the darkness and the length of the night and that yearning for sun again, to realize that it's inside of you can provide a great deal of resource and really ease the tensions in the body. So I invite you to try that, play with that. Give me some feedback. Post a comment on this. Post a comment on my Facebook page, The Living Medicine Project, or just send me an email. I would love to hear from you and see how this stuff is landing for you, because I think this is a really, it's a different take on things that not a lot of people are thinking about. Connecting with the sunlight that's inside of you can be very powerful. So that's it for me today. Hope that's helpful for you, and I will talk to you next time.